Bharat Biotech has held a very emotional and angry press conference today. Dr. Krishna Ella is saying that Indian companies and Indian scientists are deliberately being targeted with misinformation. Do you buy that?
So I think there are two different issues. One is the company. The company is of international standards. They do studies not only in India but abroad, and therefore we have no doubt that this is a company of international standards. I think what some people have raised is regarding the trials which are going on. Bharat Biotech is doing an excellent study in India, which is looking at the vaccine, Covaxin, and I think they have very good, robust phase 1 and phase 2 data, based on which the regulators have given them approval. But there is the phase 3 trials are going on, and hopefully within a month or two we will have data, complete data from that trial also. So I think that is the only thing. I don't think where there's any doubt about the uh, quality of the company.
But Dr. Guleria, then why have you called Bharat Biotech a backup vaccine? What in any case is a backup vaccine? Bharat Biotech is saying that they are not a backup vaccine, they are a vaccine as good as any other.
So it is good enough, and I think the word backup has been sort of understood. What it means is that currently there are large number of doses available as far as Serum Institute is concerned. So obviously that would be what would be given very easier to roll out in the first phase. And as the regulator has said that for the Bharat Biotech we must continue to give the vaccine under clinical trials situation. Therefore, it would be something which will be given in a limited value depending upon what is available and how clinical trials can be done while it's being rolled out in particular areas. So backup means that it would be available not as a secondary vaccine, but a vaccine where the doses may be relatively less as compared to the first one. So that's the only thing. Both of them are equally good. The efficacy data from Bharat Biotech, also based on phase 1 and phase 2 and limited phase 3 data, is very, very encouraging.
And doctor, therefore my next question, Bharat Biotech is also very angry with the debate on this efficacy data. Now what Dr. Krishna Ella is saying that that is Bharat Biotech has efficacy data, but SII does not. So can you explain to us why SII did not need India specific efficacy data before clearances?
So what is usually done when you have a situation like this, and you have an international organization like AstraZeneca to which Serum Institute is attached, they are able to provide efficacy data from international or global studies. And they use that data to show that this is efficacious, and they do what we call a bridging study. In a smaller sample size, they show that the safety and efficacy is similar to what has been reported in the larger studies done globally. And AstraZeneca has done a huge study in UK, in Brazil, in South Africa, and they've collated that data, and that is there in public domain. It's been published also. So Serum Institute has shown their own data in Indian subjects in a smaller amount and has tried to show that there is a correlation between that. So I do agree that we don't have that robust, large data as Bharat Biotech has been able to accumulate from Indian subjects, and sometimes that can be a cause of concern.
Doctor, I know science is not simple, but let me ask you a very simple question then. If there is a choice between Covaxin or Covishield, which vaccine will you trust for yourself and your own family?
So my answer would be that based on whatever data they have, both vaccines are very, very safe. None of us need to worry about the safety issue as far as the vaccines are concerned. One could take any of the two and not be concerned about safety issues. So let's have faith in the research that Bharat Biotech has done, the data which has come from Serum Institute, what has been looked critically by the expert group and by the DCGI. After that, only the approval has been given. So let's not get into a lot of rumors and doubts. They are very, very safe vaccines. And the platform which Bharat Biotech has used is a very age-old trusted platform. So it's something that we are comfortable with also, even if you look at the vaccine in the long run.
Now to a question that is worrying almost all parents I know. All this while the government has been saying that trials were not on children. But today Bharat Biotech has said that trials are actually on for children as well. So when inoculation starts, whenever it does this month, will Covaxin be given to children between the age group of 12 and 18?
So after you do trials on adults and you find good safety data, you would like to expand that to children, and then it follows to pregnant women also if need be. So even globally now there are trials being done to see whether we can give the vaccine to children. This becomes important because as schools open up, you would like the children also get vaccinated, because there is a concern that children who go to school may get the infection. They may have a mild infection, but they may carry it home and give it to their parents or the grandparents who may have a severe infection. And that is a major cause of concern. But we need more safety data, and that studies are going on. Bharat Biotech, as they've said, are doing studies. Globally, also, there are various vaccine manufacturers which have now started doing studies to look at the safety of the efficacy of the vaccine in children.
Okay, so which means no vaccine for kids and for pregnant women.
Correct. Currently, the regulators have not approved vaccines globally for children and pregnant women because the safety data is still emerging.
Doctor, is it not strange that Pfizer, which was, the first shot that was administered across the world, has still not approached the Indian regulators? Are they trying to arm twist us into indemnity and doing away with the bridging studies?
So I'm not clear why they haven't done that. There could be multiple factors. Like you said, one is the indemnity clause that they want. It could be that now they have a huge orders from different parts of the world, and maybe they may not be able to manage any more orders if they come from India. I really don't know, because that is something which the company has to decide.
By when will the first shot be administered? Is there a date that has been finalized, or is there a timeline that has been finalized?
So I think once now that we've done the dummy run, we have things in place. I'm very confident that within 10 to 14 days, the vaccine will be rolled out, and we will have it being given in a large scale, especially to healthcare workers within this month. So I for one, am looking forward to get my vaccine.
Okay, so am I, and I'm fairly certain so are many of us. My last question to you, is it safe to assume that the first shot will be a Covishield shot?
I think so, because they have a huge amount of stockpile with them. They have almost 60 to 70 million doses readily available, which they can transport at short notice. So it seems likely that that would be the first available vaccine. Just logistically, that seems more likely.
All right, Dr. Guleria, thank you very much for giving us time here on Debrief. Thank you very much for clearing some of the air there.